What's going on, everybody? Yeah, so I saw this today. I was surfing on the tube land. I heard about this story. Bill Cosby, free from prison, his sex conviction overturned. I was like, what? No way. I thought it was fake news. I wouldn't have sure, but sure enough, it's real. There's more sites found like that. Yeah, we're gonna find out why. Let's get to it, shall we? All right. Philadelphia AP. Pennsylvania highest court threw out Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction and released him from prison Wednesday in a stunning reversal of fortune of the comedian once known as America's Dad, ruling that the prosecutor who brought the case was bounded by his procedure agreement not to charge Cosby. Cosby, 83, flashed the V for Victory sign in a helicopter overhead as he trudged into his suburban Philadelphia home after serving nearly 3 years of a 3 to 10-year sentence for drugging and violating Temple University sports administrator Andrea Constand in 2004. The former Cosby Show star, the first celebrity tried and convicted in the Me Too era, had no comment as he arrived, and just smiled and nodded later at a news conference outside, where his lawyer Jennifer Bonjean said, "We are thrilled to have Mr. Cosby home. He served 3 years in an unjust sentence, and he did it with dignity and principle," she added. In a statement, Constant and her lawyers called the ruling disappointing, and they, like many other advocates, expressed fear that it could discourage sexual assault victims from coming forward. "We urge all victims to have their voices heard," they added. Cosby arrested in 2015 when the district attorney armed with newly unsealed evidence. The comments damaged deposition in a lawsuit brought by Constant filed charges against him just days before the 12-year statute of limitation was about to run out. But the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said Wednesday that District Attorney Kevin Steele, who made the decision to arrest Cosby, was obligated to stand by his procedure's promise not to charge Cosby, though there was no evidence that agreement was ever put in writing. Justice David Retch, writing for split court, said Cosby had relied on the previous district attorney's decision not to charge him when the comedian gave him potentially incriminating testimony and a constant civil case. The court called Cosby's subsequent arrest an effort to fundamental fairness, particularly when it results in criminal prosecution that was foregone for more than a decade. It said justice and fair play and decency required that the district attorney office stand by the decision of the previous DA. The justice said that overturning the conviction and barring any further prosecution is only a remedy that encompasses society's reasonable expectation of its elected prosecutors in our criminal justice system. Cosby was promptly set free from the state prison in suburban Montgomery County and driven home. What we saw today was justice. Justice for all Americans, said a Cosby spokesperson, Andrew Wyatt. Mr. Cosby conviction being overturned is for the world and all Americans who are being treated unfairly by the jurisdictional system and some bad officers. Bonjean said Cosby was extremely happy to be home and looks forward to reuniting with his wife and children. Several supporters outside yelled, "Hey, hey, hey!" the catchphrase of Cosby's animated Fat Albert character, which brought him a smile for him. He later tweeted an old photo of himself with his first raised and eyebrow closed with the caption, "I have never changed my stance nor my story. I have always maintained my innocence. Thank you to all my fans, supporters, and friends who stood by me through this ordeal. Special thanks to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court for upholding the rules of law." In a statement, Steele, the district attorney, said Cosby went free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the fact of the crime. He condemned Constantine for coming forward and added, "My hope is that the decision will not dampen the reporting of sexual assaults by victims. I am furious to hear this news," actor Amber Tamblyn, a founder of Time's Up, an advocacy group for sex crimes victims, said on Twitter. "I personally know a woman who this man drugged and raped while unconscious. Shame on the court and the decision." But Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad tweeted, "Finally, a terrible wrong has been righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected." Four Supreme Court justices formally formed the majority that ruled in Cosby's favor, with three others dissented in the whole, or in part. Peter Goldberger, a suburban Philadelphia lawyer with the expertise in criminal appeals, said prosecutors could ask the Pennsylvania Supreme Court for or argument or consideration, but it would be a very long shot. I can't imagine that with such a lengthy opinion, with a thoughtful concurring opinion and thoughtfulness of dissenting opinion, that you could honestly say they made a simple mistake that would change their minds if they pointed out to them, Goldberger said. Even though Cosby was charged only with assault on Constand, the judge at his trial allowed 5 other accusers to testify that they, too, were similarly victimized by Cosby in the late 1980s. Prosecutors called them as witnesses to establish what they said was a pattern of behavior on Cosby's part. Cosby's lawyers have argued on appeal that the use of 5 additional accusers were improper, but the Pennsylvania High Court did not weigh in the question, say it was moot, given the finding that Cosby should not have been prosecuted in the first place. In sentencing, Cosby, the trial judge, had declared him a sexually violent predator who could not be safely allowed out in the public and needed to be reported to the authorities for the rest of his life. In May, Cosby was denied parole after refusing to participate in sex offender programs behind bars. He said he will resist the treatment programs and refuse to acknowledge wrongdoing, even if it meant serving the full 10 years. The groundbreaking black actor grew up in public housing in Philadelphia and made a fortune estimated at $400 million during his 50 years in the entertainment industry that included the TV shows I Spy, The Cosby Show, and Fat Albert, along with comedy albums and a multitude of television commercials. The suburban Philadelphia prosecutor originally looked into the Constand's allegation. Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor considered the case flawed because Constand waited a year to come forward and stayed in contact with Cosby afterward. Castor declined to prosecute and instead encouraged Constand to sue for damages. Man, this is long. Question under oath as part of the lawsuit. Cosby said he used to other quaaludes to one he wanted to have sex with. He eventually settled with Constand for $3 million. Portion of the deposition later became public at the request of the Associated Press and spelled Cosby's downfall, opening the floodgates, an accusation from other women, and destroying the comic's good God reputation and career. More than 60 women came forward to say Cosby violated him. The AP does not typically identify sexual assault victims without their permission, which Constand had granted. Cosby, and in the deposition, acknowledged giving quaaludes to a 19-year-old woman before having sex with her at a Las Vegas hotel in 1976. Cosby called the encounter consensual. On Wednesday, the woman's Teresi, and now 64, said the court ruling takes my breath away. I just think it's a miscarriage of justice. This is about procedure. It's not about the truth of the woman, she said. Saragini said she took solace at the fact Cosby served nearly 3 years behind bars. That's as good as against America for sex crimes. Alright, there's a video. Okay, let's play it.
I'm very proud of the team that we put together. I'm very proud to be part of this case. We always thought that eventually this is where it would end up. Mr. Cosby and I had many, many talks over the last couple of years. I predicted it, and we're here. It's a good day for the Cosby family.
Mr. Cosby, how does it feel to be home? Well, he is extremely happy to be home. He looks forward to reuniting with his wife and his children. And obviously, this has been a hard 3 years for this entire family. And it's really a blessing for him. And he says, you know, his heart is just beating really fast, and he's happy to be here.
And we have Ashley here who worked on the case. Ashley, say a few words. Ashley Cohen.
I'm just honored to be part of such an amazing team. These lawyers did an incredible job, and I'm so thankful to be a part of it and to help Mr. Cosby, and I'm just proud to be here and watch him get released.
And this wonderful attorney, Haley, you see right here. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Her father
Yes.
was in prison with Mr. Cosby. And he sent a message to Mr. Cosby before he left today for her. say a few words.
He did. He said that he loves me very, very much. And
What's your father's name?
Richard. And I, in return, love him very, very much in return. And I was glad Mr. Cosby had got to know each other all together. And I'm blessed and so grateful to be here to see Mr. Cosby.
And in closing, this was an unwanted 3-year vacation that Mr. Cosby never asked for. But in hindsight, we're happy that he got it because he was able to pull the covers off of the corruption in Montgomery County with the crooked DA, with the crooked judge, Steele and O'Neill. These same people find this man, this American citizen. I don't know how a DA has that much time on his hands to fine him $2,010 for not cutting his yard. I was on the way to pay that fine when I got a call from Nick DeHatt. And Nick told me that they had vacated the conviction. You know, what we saw today was justice. Justice for all Americans. Mr. Cosby conviction being overturned is for the world and all Americans who are being treated unfairly by the judicial system and some bad officers, because all officers are not bad. So we want to thank this entire team. We want to thank Mrs. Cosby, her family. I want to thank my family. And just thank you all for those who decided to tell the truth and allowed us to tell the truth when we had the opportunity. Thank you.
What was running through your mind when you got out? Give us a few words. Do you have anything to say?
Mr. Cosby, how you feeling? Are you happy to be out?
Well, that tells you. Sometimes there are crooked cops, there are crooked judges, crooked DA officials out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, sometimes that tells you. Sometimes women can lie. They can falsely accuse men of rape and molestation. Sometimes the evidence can be altered or tainted or corrupted. I'm not saying for this case of Cosby that he's guilty or innocent. But you never know. Let that sink in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, I'm out of here. Mic drop. Peace out.